But we obviously had some very, very heavy news that happened over the weekend, man. The passing of a great man, a person that we all have been impacted by and valued to a higher, to a big level. So I figured we would start, just reacting to the news of Tunch Ilkin passing away. And then from there, we'll get this thing rolling, man. So, I'll go first, I guess. But, it's very disheartening, right? You hear about him having ALS, not even a whole year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, for him to pass away as fast as he did, it's very, very heartbreaking. Me knowing him personally, knowing the people that, work with him on a day-to-day basis, guys like Craig Woodley, knowing how they're feeling, how they're hurting, his wife, Karen, just thinking of her, man, like it's definitely heavy on me, man. But at the same time, I think of like the positive with him, because with Tunch, he was always a positive person, right? Always a guy that was, going to think about how we can always improve, right? You never left his presence. You never left having a conversation with him feeling down or feeling less than when you got there. And when I thought of that, for me, I was like, man, I need to take this to my everyday approach. Even though I already do, I was like, I got to do it even more though. And it timed up for me in the weirdest way, where I get the news right before I'm about to go to the booth Saturday to do JMU's game. And I'm just like, man, this is crazy. I share my thoughts a little bit in the video that I posted, but I just remember like emotionally just all over the place, because I shared with you even before the JMU opportunity, when it was the Stills opportunity, and how because of our relationship, me and Tunch I'm talking about, and his imprint on me with that, how at times I'm like, man, I'm excited about it, but it was a little weird as well, man. But as a whole, man, just a great dude, awesome guy, man. I hate the fact that he's gone, but at the same time, happy that he's no longer suffering. And when you think of, like I said, just the impact, the legacy that he has left, man, it's just one of them things where you hope that you could have that type of impact when you pass away.
Yeah. No, you could see the legacy and people giving their thoughts and prayers and talking about him so much that day whenever he passed, whether it was on the local news. You even saw it on ESPN, people bringing it up.
NFL even having it out there as well, man. It was huge news, man.
That just goes to show the impact, because you think Tunch Ilkin, you think more local, Pittsburgh, but that was hitting national news. Yeah. People all around the NFL were definitely impacted by that. Yeah. And it goes back to what you said. Like for me, whenever I've met him a couple times, because one of my buddies, he used to play back in the 80s with the Steelers. He was on the offensive line, Tunch helping him out and everything. Every time I'd meet him, same thing. He'd always give me his full attention, listen to me, ask me how I'm doing, seeing if he could help in any way. It just sucks, man. You're right. It's just like a part of life, and goes back to what you said. You just do your best to improve and go off of that person's legacy and remember that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think like that's how you honor a guy like Tunch, right? You don't come in and be sad and depressed. Not saying that, it's not a time to grieve, because 100% it definitely is. This is a guy that, he touched a lot of us, whether it's you listening to the games and you hearing him commentate, or like I said, for me, just our personal relationship as well. You definitely go through that. But when I think of Tunch, I'm just like, I know how he is. I know he would want, to keep it upbeat, to keep it going like that. So, even in the midst of it all, that's what we're going to do. But, definitely want to spend a little time talking about him and just kind of reflecting on him. And anybody in the chat, man, if y'all have any, stories or something like that y'all want to share about Tunch, man, we'll definitely read those off as well, man. But he was one of those guys, man, just an awesome dude on, off the field. You talk about, you said your friend or whatever that he was helping in terms of his O-line work. I tell the story all the time about I'm rehabbing. This is 2015 season. And the whole time I'm in there rehabbing, he's working with Al Villanueva. And at the time, Al was not good. Like I was having to improve it, but Tunch showed him a little technique where he traps a guy's hands down. He just knocks his hands down so you couldn't do a bull rush on Al, because that's what he struggled with. And literally, man, you see Tunch teach him this move, and every day they would just be in here. They would walk 100 yards left, 100 yards going back right. Tunch shoot his hands, Al just smack it down. I'd be like, yo, this is so boring, so stupid. Until I went out there and we're working in OTAs and I go to do my bull and he does that chop and we fall flat on the face. I'm like, bro, what was that? You've never done that before. What is this new move you've created? And from there, you see how well Al played after that, how he really became a guy that got paid multiple times now. But Tunch was a big person in his development. Being able to see that firsthand, that's just crazy when I think of it, man.
Yeah. Now in the chat, I'm getting a lot of rest in peace to Tunch. I'm looking for if someone's got like a little story. I did see something where they said they met Tunch. Here it is. Yeah. Chaz Vitor. I chatted with Tunch the next to last training camp day at Heinz Field. Great guy. Rest in peace. And then, I'm seeing a lot more. Just rest in peace. Looking for any more stories, but not seeing anything else outside of someone complimenting your shirt.
Oh, no doubt.
A couple people, actually.
We're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Did you read off Chad Schrader? I know he just popped in after one of the shirts.
Yeah, I see it at the bottom now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did get that?
No. I see it. I could read it if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead, read that one then. Yeah.
Deke and Arthur, I met Tunch 10 years ago at Steelers Fan Blitz, and I got a signed photo from Tunch. Awesome dude.
Nah, that's dope right there. Respect
and
that,
you
man.
could see that not only from him, but across many people's social media. Like if you were a Steeler fan and you ran into Tunch, a lot of people were posting pictures of them with him, and they were sharing very similar sentiments. Like, oh man, it was a blessing to meet you. You're a really nice guy. Impact me, even though it was just for like a small portion. I recognize that joy and that hope that you bring to life, and I want to carry it out. That's what a lot of people have been saying.
And you know, the thing that's crazy to me too is a guy that was as successful as he was as a player and as a commentator. I mean, you talk about being a part of a Super Bowl broadcasting, like that's big time. Granted, it was part of the team, but still, like, to get that opportunity. But you think about how humble he was. Like, I don't think I've ever come across anyone to say, yeah, Tunch didn't give me the time of day, or he act like he was a big time guy, like anything like that. Even though he had every right to do that, you just never got that with Tunch. Though he was always just
that's actually a really good
super humble guy, man. Super humble.
Yeah. Because if there were any people out there that were like in line to meet him or waiting around to meet him, get autographs, photos, he'd take the time with them.
Absolutely would, man. He absolutely would.
Talk to him face to face, eye to eye, just like me, just as I mentioned earlier. That's how I always felt, that he was giving me his full attention and really cared about me. And everyone else is saying the same thing.
No doubt. And now Moneybags asked me about Wolf. I reached out to him, man. He's handling as best he can. All of us that are a part of the Steelers broadcast staff, we're working to do whatever we can to help alleviate him a little bit in terms of this week, especially because this is the big week where all the new content was coming out. So radio shows, different Steeler themed stuff, like it's a lot going on with that, man. So Wolf, he's taking some time just to kind of handle it all. Viewing is today's, the funeral's tomorrow, so it's still very fluid in terms of everything that's happening right now for Wolf, but definitely keep me your thoughts. I let him know that people obviously thinking about him, reaching out to him and stuff like that. But yeah, you can imagine, like, this is heavy for him, man. I mean, he's known this dude since they played together. That doesn't even count for the 20 plus years of them working together as broadcasters as well. Like, that's like it's his brother. You know what I mean? So it's definitely heavy on him right now, man.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else? I was going to
see, man. Just checking one more time through the chat. Make sure we're good.
Gary Slingerland, rest in peace, Tunch. There will never be a better voice of the Steelers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now.
Jared Double here brought up Tunch reacting to Juju when he had gave the big hit on Burfict, and they obviously said R.I.P. Tunch. Tunch, man, he has some lines, man. He gives some crazy reactions to some of the stuff. Obviously, everybody remembers the Santonio Holmes play in the corner of the end zone, man. But yeah, Tunch, I mean, it's been times where I've listened to, because the radio shows like that, we listen to like him just speaking on different plays that I've made or anything. I'm like,
yeah, him and Hillgrove,
that's kind of dope right there.
Dynamic duo, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, they were voice of the Steelers radio for me all growing up. And you do, whenever like ESPN plays the highlights, a lot of times they will play the local radio voiceovers, which makes it so much cooler because whether it's Pittsburgh, whether it's different cities, to hear the voice of like the local guy, it's like different.
It's cool.
You have like Lang for the Penguins here, Myron Cope from Pittsburgh. There's something to it.
It makes it feel more like authentic when it's the local guy versus if it was just whoever the national broadcaster was calling the TV copy, obviously. So now I'm with you on that, man. I am with you. So, man, with that being said, man, one quick last moment of silence for Tunch, and after that, man, we'll start the show off, baby. All right, so moment of silence. All right. Shout out to the homie Tunch right there, man. Rest in peace, baby. Rest in peace.